Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM22. It's Classics Puncher, episode number 6. And we have our very first instance of competing in the national championships. Of course, as we mentioned at the beginning of the series, I have gone to my roots for the first time. I've stepped away from having an American rider, which of course I'm American, but going back to my ancestral roots and have a German rider this time. Primarily because I want to participate in the Euros eventually. We won't do it here in year number 1, but we will compete right from the get-go in the national championships. So stepping out, I think I set a 77 early on, and I think that's not even hard enough. I think we can push a lot harder than what we've done. Schachmann is way ahead, almost a full minute ahead on time, even though he's not much of a time trialist, but the climbing is making the majority of the required effort for this, and we are already at the halfway stage of the climb, and somehow Leonard Kamna has gone ahead of Schachmann. Very surprising in that one. Our early tempo, not doing us a whole lot of justice here. I think we're going to be in trouble on the overall time, but if I can claw my way into the top 25 despite being a poor time trialist and a poor climber, I think I would be very, very happy with that, and it would at least be a minor result of sorts. As we go to hit the time check, we should be well down at this stage, 27, 4.5 minutes behind. As we go over the top here, you can see we are now into descending mode, and that is going to allow us to get a little bit of recovery in during the descent. And as I'm a good descender, 70 today for the rating, that should set me up for the final kilometer, in which we will attack the finish line. And so close, 26th place. We did not lose any time on that descent, not really anyway. We did well on the descent, but just could not quite climb fast enough. Part of that, didn't have the steady tempo. The steady tempo would have made a few seconds worth of difference, but it's mostly just down to the simple fact that I have a 64 mountain rating today. A little past halfway through the National Road Championship now. Here, my odds are much better. You've got one very short, very steep climb on this repetitive loop that we are on for this circuit. +2 on the race day condition for me. Gives me a little bit better shot too. 65 mountain helps with that climb. 75 on the punchiness really helps with the opportunity on that one. And then a 69.76 in the sprinting department. A little extra stamina resistance doesn't hurt. Here is that climb. We still have quite a ways to go as we just went under 100K. Now the expectation for the day is the late breakaway style. Not really going for that. I think realistically my best chance at a good result is to just hang in the group and go late. There is the smallest chance that the final time over that little climb, there might be a small group of punchers that are attacking. If I am well fit, I'll attack, I'll go with them, as we certainly would have a chance in that small group if we can hang on. Otherwise, I think odds are, especially with the acceleration and a decent sprint, and not a ton of great German sprinters in the field, we certainly would have a chance at maybe cracking that top 10. I don't know if we're good enough to get top 10, but I think we certainly have a chance at it. 6 riders in the break. One of them has now been dropped and is on their way coming back to the field, but we are 4 minutes behind with 68K to go, so that gap better start coming down pretty soon. Otherwise, we're going to be in trouble of battling for, it would look like maybe 6th place, as that one rider has been dropped from the group, but also sensing that if there has been a rider dropped from the group, they are maintaining a tempo that they just cannot maintain for terribly long. We are now in the window for water, final time. We are all alone here, so I got to deal with that one ourselves. One rider off the back, 11 minutes down. We got to watch out, make sure we are not misinterpreting them for somebody else. 3.5 minute gap, by the way, to those front five. So they are still really well out front. We have not pulled back much time at all, maybe 30 seconds in 20K. We have 45K left to go is all. Finally, we caught that breakaway rider down to a 3.5 minute gap. Not really. It's not coming down much at all. And there is somebody attacking Zimmerman. Intermarché rider. Alright, we need to also start preparing ourselves to hold in an increased tempo. Gap is finally coming down. It's under 3 minutes now. Down inside 2 minutes with 30K to go. So we are pulling it back quite quickly here. And as we go to hit that climb again, we're going to go 82 as we want to hold position. It's short enough that it shouldn't do too much damage. That little part right there is super steep. Front group of 9 for a split second going clear. And now there's only 2 riders left in the break. And at least at the moment, 21 in the peloton, though I think 79 are going to get back on par, you would think. Front group's been caught. 39 in the peloton in the current version. Little mini attacks. This is where they want me to be attacking, but we don't have that type of energy. I want to save it for that little climb if there's going to be something. 38 chasing 1. Small group. Now it's back to 92. And back to 33. It's yo-yoing, but that means that 57 group is very close behind. But how much of a chance are they going to have with just 15K to go to get not only back in it, but back to the front of the group to contend? You can see we're blinking red on an 85 here. 13K. Pace is lifted, allowing that back group to get in it. We do catch the breakaway rider who was just, I think, out of energy primarily. 83. 11K to go. Here comes that final climb here shortly. And we have enough energy still for the sprint. Right-hander, left-hander into that climb. Here's the right. There's the left. I want to go up tick on the tempo. But I don't necessarily want to attack. I just want to make sure that we are in position to go with these guys and be in the select group if there is going to be a select group. But 3 guys a couple meters away is not enough. 7.5K to go. Down to 17 at the moment. Altogether, well positioned. 6K, just enough energy to still do the sprint. And gel. Okay, now at some point we have to try to maintain a good position, but also be ready to sprint. Difficult situation without a lead out. We're following DSM through, which is nice. 3.8K. Slightly technical on the run in, but it's very wide. Left-hander just before the finish. 3K to go. Second wheel is excellent. And here comes the attack. 2.4K. No, they lift. Sitting up, out front. Again, 1.7. Comes the left-hander. And on our way to the finish. Rolling through. We are into the top 10. We are into the podium. And we are contending, but we're not going to win. But we've got a podium. Pascal Ackerman, John Degenkolb, Decathlon Gamer. Third place. We got a podium in the National Championships as a rookie on what was essentially a sprint. That punchiness, minor factor, but only minor. That was definitely a sprint, and we've got almost enough sprint in us to contend. Walscheid is definitely a sprinter, should have beaten us. Pollitt, classics guy. Pollitt is a lot like what we're going to be by, I'd say, early next season. I'd say we'll be on the level of Pollitt, capable of competing maybe late next season. We've still got a ways to go to get to Pollitt's level. Max Cantor, only 10th for the sprinter there. And that third place came with a hefty haul of points, enough to get the level up. It also opens up a higher category of races for us, which means we actually might get more days in the saddle, considering we've only been allowed to partake in minor races thus far with our large Continental Pro team. So obviously the 2 primary attributes of hills and cobblestones are both looking fairly good. We do need to work on our punchiness before long here, as we're definitely not where we need to be at a 73. However, the two main or three main secondaries, acceleration is already good, but then sprint and mountain. We got sprint much improved on the last level. This actually will get us another point of both sprint and acceleration and hills. But a +2 to mountain will go a long way to making us more competitive, in particular because it's going to come with a +4 to stamina. That's a big bonus for us, as we need to still be around in races, and that's going to involve getting over those hills, having that stamina to stick around a bit longer. So we'll take that one for this level, but I think we're on for puncher next time. With a giant empty spot on the calendar, we have the entire month of July off. That's harsh. We don't race again until the second week of August. That's also set up for a next episode type thing anyway. So we're going to look at two things real quick before we wrap this episode up. First off, we just leveled up, so where does that put us? Well, we're in that 4-star range now of the team, but we had already done that on the previous level. For now, we're just, I suppose, higher up on that chart of 4-star riders. But that is the middle, you could say third. It's slightly upper middle third, but that's still just the middle ground of what this team offers. But how do we actually compare with everyone else? We had looked at this not that long ago, but a 73 flat is just above halfway. 65 mountain now is still in the bottom end, but it's getting to a tolerable level. The hills at 74 is equal on third, time trialing near the bottom. Gobble rating, second best. Sprint is 8th on the team right now, but the acceleration is the best. So that combination anyway puts us probably somewhere around where these guys are in terms of what you can actually turn out in a sprint. We get up to speed very quickly, but our top end speed doesn't quite match a couple of these others. But being just behind them, that getting up to speed much faster, I think, gives us kind of the edge. Downhill, still bottom half. Baradur, doesn't matter anyway, but low end. Stamina has now risen significantly. We went from the bottom end to now towards the top end for the team. That huge boost, that +4 we just got on that level up for stamina, is going to start making a pretty significant difference for us, but the resistance is still quite low, so we don't have the red bar to attack, but we do have that yellow bar to retain a strong position. However, recovery is still the worst on the team, and therefore stage races are definitely not a strong suit of ours. Second thing we're going to look at is where we stand in the world rankings. We're not in the World Tour rankings, as we have not even participated in a race there, but Wout van Aert is on top ahead of Carapaz and Pogacar at this point on the 1st of July. Presumably the Tour de France just getting underway, as it will in real life on the 1st of July this year. Let's see, what day are you watching this? You're watching this on the 1st of July, so there you go. It's just gotten underway. Stage 1 should be in the books by the time you're seeing this, or almost finishing up. And if you're watching this, I hope you're watching that side by side. Rodriguez is 11th in the continental rankings. Lawless is 16th. I've certainly amassed a fair amount of points here, but definitely not tops for the team. But I am equal on 155 points with Peter Sagan. That's impressive to me anyway. Super Prestige, probably not in comparison to him, as I'm sure he's been doing the bulk of World Tour service, along with like a Pierre Latour. Yeah, Sagan quite a bit higher at 239. Bosenhagen. Farone, who we've been racing with a lot, has 162. He's often been the leader. Simone. We raced with Viermo's at least once, and there we are at 126 points in our rookie season, 351st overall, but we have been a teammate for months, and we are just now starting to get a little bit of freedom. And of course, that last race came due to an odd circumstance of playing the role of teammate and picking up a few KOM points, and suddenly having the team go, hey, KOM, yeah, sure, go for it. And we did, and won the KOM. And then a little bit of success at the national championships. Podium's pretty good, not too shabby. But yeah, 126 points is a decent start in this first season. I think it's more than what you'll often get in the first season, if you're playing on the harder difficulty, that is. It depends on your arc too, what sort of arc you're going for. Some are going to be set up to compete a little bit sooner. If you're on a small continental team where you're the best rider from day one and you're given team leadership status, you're not going to score a ton of points because it's small races, but you're going to be competing. And if you're good enough, especially like say if you take sprinter, you're competing for sprints from day one. And if you're getting some results on easy or normal difficulty, well, yeah, you're going to score a lot more points in this. So it's all relative, I suppose. But certainly not a bad start to our career. We still have a handful of months to go in this first season, but of course, we're going to sit out the next month and a week or so. So almost 6 weeks till our next race, meaning we are pushing on to the late end of the season at this stage. The next level is not going to come with a level up either. It's just going to come with the skill point and not attribute progression. So we have hit that stage where it's now 2 levels apart, which means we have a little more work to do to continue progressing so rapidly. But hey, I mean, we've made 5 levels already in our first year. Not bad. That's going to do it for this one, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe. See you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.